Jesse Quick, I knew you would come for me.
How'd you know I was coming here?
Because I know everything that happens. I've already lived it.
I'm not afraid of you.
You should be.
Jesse.
HR? It's a little late to talk me out of this, okay?
I'm not gonna try and talk you out of anything. I learned that lesson.
You have something that belongs to me.
I need a little help here, HR.
I'm thinking.
Think faster.
What do we got? We're fighting Savitar. Savitar's a speed god. He's omnipotent. He's invulnerable. Then why does he need a suit of armor? Jesse, he's vulnerable somewhere under the suit. Find a gap, find an opening, and go for it.
I have such plans for you in the future, Jesse Quick.
Oh, I have plans for you, too. This is for Lily.
Happy beginning of summer, everybody. So one of the biggest questions I got at the end of The Flash Season 3 is what was Savitar's grand plan for Jesse Quick? You don't say something like, I have such plans for you in the future, Jesse Quick, unless you have something really, really big planned. But I think there are a couple big reasons why The Flash never really addressed it, and now that Savitar's largely been dealt with, they've changed the future, so unless we're going to start jumping different timelines, we're not going to ever see that play out on screen. And we didn't get to see Jesse Quick in the finale in a big way, which was a big disappointment. I had a feeling that she would come back for that final scene and just be there with Wally, like, hugging him, even if she didn't have speaking lines. So I think there are just like a couple big reasons why all those things happen. And it happens every season on The Flash, like Earth 19 Flash. Really cool character that they just tease, but never really did anything with after that. There's also a new round of the Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. So we still got a couple Season 3 things to talk about before we start doing Season 4 videos. So if there's anything you really want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments. But let's talk about this scene and what Savitar needed people to help him with. So Barry is a very smart person. He's a scientist. He's a forensic scientist. He's not an engineer. So one, I think that Jesse Quick was going to help him build that suit. I should probably do like a separate video about how the suit works. Savitar had one of the coolest Flash suits that you got little bits and pieces of during the season. But Jesse Quick herself is one of the most OP characters on The Flash, and this is why. One, she's shown that she can be just as fast as Wally or Barry at times. Barry is still the fastest version of the Flash, but every speedster has different things that they're good at, just based on the way that they think, the way they learn to use their powers. Barry has a lockdown on some of the more sophisticated uses of his powers, and Jesse Quick is just learning things a little bit faster than both of them are, because I think her true power is in her intellect, because everybody on Earth 2 is just a little bit smarter than their counterparts on Earth 1. She's got like 3 advanced degrees, and she's in her early 20s. So what probably ends up happening is that Savitar is creating the legend of Savitar using the Philosopher's Stone through space-time. Eventually he needs to create the suit, one, to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies, which is basically Barry and Team Flash, and two, he needs something to help him travel even faster than he would be able to on his own. If you're a big comic book fan, you might remember Superboy Prime. He converted some of the Anti-Monitor's technology to help him harness extra sunlight energy, especially when he was stuck in galaxies with red suns. So Savitar had all of this prior knowledge that made him a badass, but really the suit took him the rest of the distance, and he had those crazy spikes on it that he would just skewer people with. They got that message from 2056 Barry, don't trust anyone, even me, like he was trying to tell them that Savitar was another version of him. But what do they also have in 2056? Crazy advanced technology. If this was the version of the Flash suit from 2024, think about what it looked like in 2056. Too bad we never got to see that, but you can tell as they go forward in time, they learn more and more about the Speed Force. Savitar was manipulating time in that Mobius strip in the past, in the present, in the future. He probably just co-opted Jesse Quick to help him make that suit. But I know he sounds really creepy. He could have had other plans for her too, but really I think it was more for her intellect and the things that she was able to do. He's not like Zoom. He wasn't trying to take other people's speed. He just wanted people to worship him, and the suit made him faster than everyone else, so it wasn't like anyone was going to be able to challenge him. So now you're asking, if Jesse Quick is so awesome and so important to Savitar in the future, why did they leave that on the cutting room floor? Why did they drop that storyline? And I think it partly has to do with some of the problems that they had the first half of the season. There were a lot of really awesome concepts that they tried to introduce. Some of them didn't work out so well and mesh with the other storylines that were going on. So there were a couple really important characters this season. One was Caitlin, probably one of the most important characters. The other was Wally West, and then obviously Barry, Iris, and Savitar. But the problem is that you can only spend so much time developing these characters. So you introduce someone like Jesse Quick, and it's like, oh my god, we finally have our first female speedster. She's a big comic book character and a big part of the Savitar storyline from the Mark Waid era. But the problem is that Violet Bean, the actress that plays Jesse Quick, isn't a series regular, so you just can't justify spending all this time developing her storyline at the expense of your main characters like Caitlin, Wally West, even Iris West. So Jesse Quick, I think, is largely a casualty of them just having too many storylines to wrap up in that final episode and then just not being able to find space for her in there. So this is episode 16 where Savitar says that he has big plans for her. What happened after this? She went to Earth 3 to become the Flash of that Earth in place for Jay Garrick while he was in the Speed Force prison. Now that he's back, she can come back, so she'll obviously be back in season 4, so will Jay Garrick. But them sending her there is kind of a way of them putting the toy on the shelf. Like, okay, we took it off, we played with the Jesse Quick toy for a couple episodes, we saw her do some really cool stuff. She was really important for the Wally West character. There's a relationship there that they'll tease out in future seasons, but you're not a main character, so we just can't keep devoting time to your storyline, so we'll put you back on the shelf till next season. If you've been watching TV long enough, you'll find that this happens with a lot of really interesting characters. Another really good example of this is during season 2 when the Flash had to pay off the big Zoom twist, like, how could you kill Jay Garrick and also be Hunter Zolomon? And the explanation was a time remnant that they then turned into the big twist of season 3. So obviously we're probably not going to be seeing a whole lot of time remnants in the future. But it kind of felt like a bummer, like, oh man, I was kind of hoping there'd be a more sophisticated explanation for how he was able to do this. And I think that was mostly in the name of simplicity. So in the comics, there are a number of times that the Flash has appeared, but it's been someone else pretending to be another person. When Barry Allen died during Crisis on Infinite Earths, later there was a period in the Mark Waid comics where Barry Allen came back, but it was secretly Eobard Thawne pretending to be Barry. But you can't really do that on the TV show because, like, look at Matt Letcher here. This is what he looks like next to Grant Gustin. It would be so hard for him to wear a Grant Gustin mask and masquerade as Barry Allen. So it's kind of the same thing with the time remnants of season 2. And they kind of fixed that with the face changing device during season 3. Now you have a way around that. But little twists like that, they don't figure that out at the beginning of the season. So at the beginning of season 3, they knew they wanted to do the Savitar Barry twist, but they didn't know how that would play out and how it would affect the other characters. So a lot of times when you get to the point where you actually have to explain all these big plot points that you set up, it doesn't always quite work out. So things get left on the floor. One of those big things this season was Jesse Quick, which kind of sucks, but she'll be back with a really cool story in season 4. Pretty much every really cool character that you like always comes back, even if it's only a little bit. What I'll probably do for my next video is more speedsters that they could introduce during season 4. There's literally an infinite number of speedsters they could bring on the show. Multiversity Earth 19 Flash is a good example of just really obscure people, even if they don't have big comic book stories, that they can tease in funny ways on the TV show. So leave all your requests for bonus videos, but I'll say congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Matthew McKinney. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. There was a new round in this video. I'll announce the winner the next time I post a DC video. I do have some new Justice League that I'm going to be posting later today, so I'll try to get that out as fast as possible. You can click here for all my season 4 predictions, and you can click here to start getting ready for Game of Thrones. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.